only cautionary note, Chris, is that's high voltage, and you got to give it a lot of respect. You got to have also the proper test equipment that can handle the high voltage, shorting stick, and all that stuff, because it's very unforgiving. And yeah, it sounds like, I agree with Jeff, if those oil-filled capacitors aren't leaking or whatever, don't touch them. Leave them alone. If you see signs of it leaking anywhere in the pictures, I would probably just stay away from it. You don't want to have to deal with proper disposal and all that. Yeah, if anything, I just remove the capacitors there and leave them there in the hangar. If they're leaking, I wouldn't take them with me. All right, let's see what else. Yeah, I was looking at the amplifiers and stuff, so no, I'm not going to be able to run full legal limit. It would really become cost prohibitive. A really good LD MOS amplifier at 1500 watts is about 3,000. That's normal. But as soon as you go higher in frequency, 440 and 1296, then it gets really high. But at least the drive level, the 9700 is right where it needs to be to drive a full kilowatt amplifier. So that's a good thing. So who knows? I might buy the thing tomorrow. I may not buy it until you know, maybe after summer. Give me a winter project to play with. Do I really want to get back involved with satellites? I used to do that a lot, and it was a lot of fun. Just like RTTY, I really enjoyed the old machines. When John did his video of the Menden Hamfest there, I saw the old teletype machine. That's exactly what I had. I had two of them. And those things would go, and it was beautiful. I used it for sending and receiving QSOs on VHF. And I also had used it for HF as well. Yeah, Bardot. That's what it was. They ran off of Bardot. 45 was the speed. 45, 75, and 100, I think, was the top. And I built my own modem. The modem was, I didn't like the stuff that they were selling. With all the phasing and all that stuff that was going on, you know, you would take some hits in your copy. So I sat down and I designed a digital diversity detector. What it did was it circuit analyzed the characteristics of the mark and the space and the transition from mark back to mark. And what was really cool was that adopting an approach where you were mark as one signal and the space as another signal, you can actually incorporate diversity detection. So if during the transition from mark to space, the space doesn't show up, you can use logic to insert the space at the interval when it was supposed to show up. And vice versa when it went back to from space to mark. If the mark didn't show up, it was you know, a little dirty. You can insert a solid mark. And so what it did was when I built it and I put it in practical use to copy signals on HF. Boy, it worked beautiful. and it kept track of the errors that were being detected during the transition of the mark in space and vice versa. Yeah, the old diversity mark in space detector that I designed back in the, I guess it would have been back in the 80s, early 80s, I think it was. Come to think of it, I built a couple of them. I built one for my dad, and I built one for myself, because we were both heavily into RTTY. And of course, you know, we got involved with ASCII, and then we got involved with packet radio and PACTOR and AMTOR and all the ORs in there. And so that was kind of cool. So the need for digital diversity detection wasn't really as a big deal because you had error detection built into the word that was being transmitted. So that was kind of cool. All right, well listen, I'm going to say 73 as well. It's kind of early, but I guess not. It's almost 9 o'clock. So 73, everybody. Take care. And I'll let you know if I end up buying this thing or not. Right now, I think I'm going to hold off for a while, because I want to make sure I got all of the antenna hardware together, because I don't want the radio sitting here in the shack and I can't use it. So I want to make sure I have the antenna system to plug and play. That's the way to do it. KI6CSA, over to you, Chris, and I'll be listening out. WA6 Jacks, Kings, and Nines. Good night.
All right, WA6JKN, KI6CSA. Very good, Kevin. When I looked that thing up, the 9700, I'm pretty sure I know what it is. It's low power, right? So I guess you have to run it through your amp. And I'm sure maybe you could get on 2 meter AM with us. Maybe we can talk Jeff into it. So Jeff, if it's a 6 and 2, that sounds like a Viking. You said Heath kit, so is it a Heath kit 2er or 6er? Because if it's a 2er, that's what George has, and his has it's a transceiver. It has a speaker and it receives and transmits. So you said 6 and 2. I think I'm pretty sure that's a Viking transmitter. So, but you would, I don't know what you would do for a receiver. You'd have to find something that would receive AM. Yeah, I don't know, something to look into. And I don't even know if we could even reach it from San Diego to Chino with 2 meters AM sideband. 2 meter sideband. I've done that. I've talked to guys 2 meter sideband, and that was back when I was only running. I think it was a Kenwood, and it was only putting out like 12 or 15 watts sideband. And I talked to a guy in San Pedro. That was probably, I think, my longest QSO. We talked back and forth for a while. But I used to do 2 meter sideband all the time. Hold on a second here. Yeah, 150 watts, that's fine. I like 2 meter sideband, it's fun. It's a challenge, you know. So, I know we could probably do a 2 meter sideband, Jeff. And that would be cool. And I wonder also, I don't even know, Jeff, it's 7-3s to Kevin and you, Jeff. I don't even know if you're still there, Jeff, but was it wired for 120 or is it a 220? Because if it was 220, that's a deal breaker. I don't have 220 in this house. I could, you know, this house isn't wired for 220. And anyways. It doesn't look too big, yeah. And the cool thing about it is, it'd be a project for sure. Is I look at a lot of the stuff that's rusty or whatever. I have a bead blaster. I got a cabinet, and I got one that I can bead blast up outside of the cabinet. So I can clean a lot of that stuff up. I see there's a lot of surface rust. I can clean a lot of that up. It's kind of cool. and the history of it is probably the coolest part about it. Is that some guy? I'm curious if he actually has more information on the guy that made it. You know, that would be good to have with it. You know, to keep the legacy going and find out who the guy was and his call sign or whatever. And that would be really cool. So maybe I'll shoot him a message and see and tell him I talked to you. Say you know that we're friends and see what he says. So, anyways, all right, you guys. Always fun as usual. It's getting 9 o'clock. It's going to be lunch now, but conditions are great. Everybody's still booming in here, so that's not a problem. But all right, we'll talk to you guys later. Jeff, go relax in the jacuzzi, man. You're lucky. I wish I had one for my achy back, but no such luck. Maybe someday. All right, guys. 7-3s. Have a good night. And Jeff, if you're still there, go ahead and take it for the last one. I'll listen, and then we'll hang it up until we meet again. KK6IRZ, KI6CSA.
Okay, very good, Chris. 73, Kevin. And yeah, I mean, you guys are just blasting it, both of you. So I don't know, maybe it's just you know, the up and down the coastline tonight or something. I don't know, but but both of you are just way over 9. I have the 20 dB attenuator in, and you guys are still over 9. So I'd say I'd say that you know, 30 over is easily being done, both of you. So there you go. Conditions are pretty good, at least between us. Yeah, no, it's a 115. Although I looked at the transformer and it can be wired either 115 or 230. And then it has, at least on the high voltage transformer, looked like it had 3 taps. So depending on whether you know, whether it's split windings or whatever they do, but my guess is that based on it being 813s and 811s, my guess is probably it's hanging right around 1500 volts. Yeah, probably hanging right about that 1500 volts. You know, typical voltage for that class of rig. And it's probably about if we look at the data sheet for you know, for 813s and that stuff, there's probably something in there with that voltage approximately. Or maybe he's running 23. Maybe he's running 23. I mean, it could be that they're running 23, 25 on the 813s and 1500 or 1250, 1500 on the 811s. There's definitely a whole lot of power supplies in there, so it could be a split supply, modulator versus PA. That's a possibility, actually, because there were a couple good-sized transformers in there that I saw, but I didn't trace anything out or anything. But those old rigs were definitely not uncommon to have a power supply for a modulator versus a power supply for the final. So it is possible that it has 2 high-voltage supplies in it, but I don't know that for sure. But it was a nice mod transformer. Looked like it was very, I mean, you can see it by the 811s there. Looks like a good-sized mod transformer. You know, nothing cheesy. But I just did kind of a quick inspection and went, wow, well worth the money. And very nice that it has all the cables so that you don't have to figure out how to wire it. You know, that was kind of my evaluation aspect of things. Beyond that, we talked a lot of airplanes and talked about my time when I was in the Army, and I was an aircraft powertrain repairman at the time in the Army, and a few other things. So it was really nice. I mean, I can send him a text or something. I have his personal number now. I don't have to go through eBay. So I can just text him and, hey, I have somebody that's interested in talking to you about the unit, and if he says, oh yeah, no problem, I'll just send you his phone number, and you can give him a call or send him a text or whatever the case may be. Of course, that's assuming that I don't all of a sudden make space over here and get a hair across my butt and just say I'm going to take it for myself. I can certainly tell you that I wouldn't have a problem storing it for you, except for one thing, and that is if I went through the effort to go get it and bring it over to my house, it'd be mine. But there you go. And the Heathkit that I was talking about is the Seneca, which I think is 6 and 2. And I think it's AM. It's phone and CW, 6 meters and 2 meters, I believe, the Seneca. And it's in pretty clean shape, so I don't have any reason to believe it wouldn't take a minimal amount of effort to get it up and running. But then, of course, I need a receiver and all that type of thing to deal with it all the way. But not that big of a deal. Matter of fact, now that I got the Hermes Lite 2, I could use that as my receiver for 6 meters. I have no doubt that it can receive 6 meters. I guess I could be wrong about that. Maybe it is only to 30 megahertz. I forget. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how high in frequency it goes off the top of my head. I'll have to check that out. But if it goes up to 6 meters, I could probably use it at least for a receiver on 6 meters. So there you go. Been a pleasure talking with you, Chris. Always nice. Kevin, also 73 to both of you. And I got to go in. Yeah, no hot tub, by the way, over here. I said I got to go in and take a nice hot shower. I wish I had a nice. I do have a tub that I soak in from time to time when the injury is getting a little bit too much to deal with. But today it's just a long day at work. I'm going to go soak in the hot shower and take a couple Tramadol and just zone myself out with, with addictive drugs. That'll do the trick. Catch you guys later. KK6IRZ, shutting things down.
All right, Jeff. Hey, I'm going to try to find you a 2 meter receiver or something that can receive 2 meter AM. Got to be something around here. All right, buddy. Talk to you later. 7373, Kevin, KI6CSA, we're clear.
Yeah, 73, Chris and Jeff. It's been most enjoyable. 40 meter AM roundtable. Boy, I'll tell you what. May the propagation gods continue shining on all of us for months to come. WA6JKN is clear.
There's somebody else in there. Go ahead. Oh, somebody on sideband. We're on AM. Hold on, let me switch to sideband. 1 second. Hello, KI6CSA. I'm also in San Diego. Yeah, we're on AM. We're on 40 meters AM.